Hello, everyone. Welcome to our inaugural Brighthour Foundation Leadership Pipeline podcast. I am joined by a dear friend, colleague, and board member, Drew. Hello, Drew. How are you doing? Thank you for, actually, thank you for just being you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a friend, but also a friend to really our whole ecosystem here. Doesn't matter who kind of meets you. You are you, and always being there to kind of support us and be a friend. Tell us a little bit about you for those of you that might not know who Drew is yet. Tell us a little bit about Drew and what's going on in your world right now. And ultimately impacts quality of patient care when those are not aligned. Yeah, that's our North Star. Yeah, very much the North Star. And I think what keeps our ecosystem together. Everybody or anybody could be doing some things in variability, but our North Star really does bring us back together and to really try to solve things together. Um, so back to your question or the statement you made about talent acquisition, which very much aligns with our whole purpose and mission around Brighthour and how we prepare the future talent, right, or future professionals. Um, you started talking about this. What are some of the biggest challenges organizations face today in attracting and developing our top talent? Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Yes, well said. And retention of our workforce development and retention of our amazing staff really helps build sustainability and optimization and a lot of those things that we talk about. But it's so hard to do if you're in flux or if you're constantly trying to figure out how to keep the lights on or how to deal with the maintenance of something because your staff is not completely up to speed on certain basic things, that you could create more seamless SOPs when you do build your staff and your workforce team to the next level. It's that level of commitment and investment. It's a huge gap in a lot of areas for a variety of different reasons that you mentioned. And our leaders, for sure, have a lot on their shoulders to address everything you just said, prioritize it, figure out what's first, what's second, and how to address all of it. It's a lot. Now, if we were to flip all that, Drew, on the other side, from the uh, early or emerging leader perspective, right? As they're listening to you and they're trying to figure out how they can fit into all of this, right? And how do they even get the door open and be able to illustrate the value and the value add they bring? So, what are some of those skills, experiences, or attributes that employers consistently are looking for um, so that our emerging leaders can prepare themselves or highlight it better? Yeah. Yep. Yeah. You better go coin that. I love it. Those five attributes. You better go coin it. I'm going to be chasing you on that one. That's great. That was very well summarized. Even if you're in a role and you want to remain successful in it, being able to demonstrate those with your audience, whether it's your peers in that role or whoever leadership team board that you're communicating to, being able to articulate those attributes and be able to shift to that type of culture, I think will either help get you to where you're trying to get to, get your message across, and furthermore, really build that culture of everything you said, whether it's collaboration or coordination. You made me think of my three C's, Drew. I love my three C's, which I always, it's the basics. It's nothing no one has thought of and nobody says, but coordination, collaboration, and communication, right? Those three, I think, are basics. Basic PM, right? And basic, um, even if you're doing something personally in your life. But when you don't take or invest in some of the basics, no matter how busy we are, I think we pay for it later on down the line and in some fashion. Um, so back to our careerists and those kind of looking to us to kind of share a little bit more about tips or tricks. How can you further define what separates a candidate who is able to successfully transition into a career and those that struggle? So you talked about your attributes, but taking it one step further, where can they better um, focus on how to better illustrate these attributes or market themselves so that it's more visible that they have these skills? Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I love that. And I'll put in a little plug too in regards to opportunities that we have in our ecosystem here. You focused on repetition and doing things that you might be uncomfortable with. And there's a lot of different ways to do that. If it's doing mock interviews, doing different things, you can always turn it around and still be a mentor. And that mentor relationship sometimes works both ways. You might be sharing knowledge and aspects of needs for your mentee, but as a mentor, you can also gain experiences and focus and find ways to enhance things that are areas of need for you as well. So there's a lot of ways to get involved with your ecosystem with whatever organization that you relate to or you're comfortable with or you have already engaged with. But go one step further, get involved with their mentorship programs or get involved with different activities that are hands on and connect with other like minded individuals that are trying to grow because we all have something to share or give to someone else and learn something from a colleague, a peer, or someone else. And there's just a lot of ways to do exactly what you just advised. Um, so we talked about a little bit of our ecosystem, and there's a lot of wonderful associations and organizations here in Georgia that we're engaged with, and I really am proud of. There's a lot of great ones. What is your perspective on the next evolution of what our organization, what you would recommend an organization or educational institutions in their programs or that our industry leaders can do to build upon their stronger leadership skills and strengthen our workforce pipeline um, at this day and age that we're in right now. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hit from all directions. Yeah, yeah, right. And I know we're not saying that anyone knows it all or is supposed to know it all. But I do think back to your point, we do need to be asking those questions and being able to identify the greatest area of need, which might be a little different from one organization to another, and being able to bring the right players together to create that strategy and that culture of whatever that direction might be um, at that moment. And it's not, again, one of those things that you do when you put it up or file it away because it might change again in 6 to 8 months based on whatever you learned from that and whatever else that might become a need for that entity or organization. It's ever changing, um, just like any industry. I get it. We're not unique. However, we do have a unique factor with our patients and our community that makes what we need even more special. Um, Drew, again, thank you so much for spending some time with me and talking. But as we close out, and for those individuals and our students, more specifically, as they're looking to advance their career. And as you know, students might be in their early part of their career. There might be mid-career emerging leaders. Maybe they're transitioning. This is a transitioned, industries and careers and all types of backgrounds. Um, and they're advancing whether into healthcare, healthcare IT, whether it's a leadership role or not. What is the single most important piece of advice that you would offer to them? Yeah, yeah, hmm, yeah, 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 yeah. Well said. Thank you. Reliability, consistency, being there for each other, and we all have different ambitions in our careers and our goals, but be present in what you're trying to do today, where you are today, and identify how you can be a part of that solution. And it might look different today than what it will in a week, but all of that will build out who you are and why people will come to you, whether it's for partnership or come to you and see you as a leader and rely on your input and guidance. And at the end of the day, that's why we're here in healthcare. We want to be able to collaborate, solve our issues, and even if it's one step at a time, work towards what can bring value to our community and our patients. Drew, as a true partner to everything we do, I do, thank you for your time. Thank you for your friendship. And I will talk to you later. Thank you. Bye bye.